Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Side Picks. Thanks for joining us again for another week. I'm Red Samples. With me is Austin Harris and Nick Ballinger. We're starting off with the NBA. OKC 2-1. Can the Thunder get it done in 5?
100%.
I think it'll go 6.
I think it's good. Like the Timberwolves obviously came out and told the Thunder that they ain't just going to run away with it. But also, if you're the Thunder, you look back and be like, hey, we can't allow that to happen again. We're a much better team. I think what it all boils down to, though, is it boils down to the two players, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards. You know, whichever one wants it more is going to be the one to win that game that day.
Well, you know, now there's a lot of added pressure too, because everybody's saying how if this OKC team goes on a run and they finish up this series and they can sweep or finish in 5 in the finals, that they could go down as potentially one of the best teams of all time.
Yeah.
Solely based off record.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
was you go ahead, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, OKC for sure. I just think Minnesota's going to fight one more game, and I think it's going to be 6 games for sure.
Yeah, and one thing about it, Anthony Edwards is going to fight.
Yeah.
He's just going to have to show up every single game, or else OKC is just going to walk through him. And like it all comes down to what if Anthony Edwards wants it or not.
I don't think that's the case. I think the biggest thing for Minnesota is going to be Julius Randle. I think as long as he continues to be productive and Anthony Edwards, stays consistent throughout this series, I think it's for sure going to go 7. And I still think that that MVP, the SGA just got, like, it's right on point. Kind of what my take was, that he takes MVP. He just knocked off the guy that stole the MVP from him last year, and I honestly think that he's satisfied. I think he's satisfied. Like, they obviously want to go to the championship. They obviously want a ring. But I think it's going to soften him up, and we're fixing to see that these next couple games. I think, like, we just seen that. He won the MVP, and then Minnesota essentially blew him out. And I think that that's going to be a consistent thing for the next game or two. Like, we're definitely going to see an even series. And then if he don't get his head on right, Julius Randle is going to be the key to Minnesota winning this series.
I think the biggest question here is: are we going to have a good game out of this series or not? Because we haven't had one yet. We've had 3 blowouts, not a single game. And then on the other side, with the Pacers and the Knicks, like every game has come down to the wire. And then with the Timberwolves and Thunder, there's nothing to watch in the fourth quarter because you already know who's going to win the game.
Yeah, as far as that goes, though, like, it's not like we didn't expect that, because everybody's been kind of back and forth, like, oh, nobody can keep up with the Thunder, and then it's like, oh, Anthony Edwards, whenever he's on, like, nobody can keep up with Minnesota. So these games were going to happen. Everybody knew that OKC was going to have at least one blowout win. Didn't expect it right off the jump. But those fresh legs, man, they mean a lot, especially this deep in the year. And as far as it goes with Minnesota, I really think this must be a 2-2 series, and it's going to be a dogfight for who goes to the championship.
And as much as Anthony Edwards is put into the playoffs for the Timberwolves, you kind of wonder, like, how much does Anthony Edwards have left in the tank, Has he emptied the gas tank already? Because you think about what he did to the Lakers, and he had to go through, and then to, like, now at this point, is he run out of gas yet?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's just OKC's just going to run him out of the gym, and Minnesota, I think they'll get one more, but 6 probably won't even be close.
Yeah, so they have the next one in Minnesota, and then they'll have to play at the Thunder twice to get through. I don't know. I feel like if the Thunder wins this one, they obviously win the next one at home. But Timberwolves has to win Game 4 to stay in the series at all.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and chalk it up. We're supposed to see 2-2. I'm calling it now. And you said Anthony Edwards running out of gas. Speaking of, with the Knicks, are they running out of gas, or are they just off to a slow start? Finally picked one up.
I mean, they ran into a team that, like, the Pacers is a tough team, as we've seen when they were down and out. Like did the Knicks come in thinking Neesmith was going to come out and take over in the fourth quarter? Absolutely not. So I don't know. I don't think they're running out of gas. I think they just ran into an opponent that they underestimated. As you seen with losing the first two games, when they should have had game one easily. Game two, back and forth, and then game three they should have been down and out, but they were able to come back, and take that one away from the Pacers. So we've seen a game where the Knicks were controlling in game one, and then a game in game three where the Pacers were controlling, but the other team ended up winning the game. So it's definitely a tough series out there. 100%. That's a dogfight with the Knicks and the Pacers.
The Pacers' headspace in game three, though, like if you watch that game, there was just like really big mental errors on the Indiana's part. Like they would go up and then they would get back possession of the ball and they'd go down and they'd pull up a three and it looked just like my Celtics do. They just love shooting, and it's like, man, listen, feed that ball inside, get to the line or get the easy two, and quit letting, like, the Knicks are not afraid to get those cheap baskets. So, like, if you're sitting here trying to win put the series essentially out of reach for the Knicks, like, at the end of the game with 5 minutes left, you can't be pulling threes when you're only up 1 point. Go ahead, go up by 3, get the easy 2, and then force the Knicks to make those bad shots. Don't make those shots don't force those shots on yourselves when you don't have to.
Which they did in the first half. The Pacers did that in the first half.
That's what I'm saying.
Their defense was relentless in the first half. The Knicks feel like they were taking every shot was a bad shot. It was like they were having a hard time just getting across the timeline, to get inside the arc at all.
And it was just like it was just like the Pacers just thought, okay, we're fixing to, same thing we have done, take these to the end and win them, and that's not what happened. And that cost them a 3-0 series lead, and instead of, looking at that and they're looking at a 2-1, when it would have been really hard for the Knicks to win 4 straight, but they shot themselves in the foot, and we're fixing to see if that's awoken the sleeping giant that is the Knicks in this playoff series.
Yeah, I don't think it's woke anything. Like I said last week, it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. The advantage Pacers have is you don't know who's going to take over each game. Like, it could be Halliburton, it could be Nembhard, or but with the
Siakam.
Yeah.
He's
right.
the factor out
with
there.
With the Knicks, it's either going to be Brunson, Cat, maybe one other person. You slow those two down. Who's going to step up? Like, do they have the other person that can step up and take over a game, not just be part of a game, take over? Like, the Pacers just have too many people that are willing to take over games.
The Knicks do have it. We just haven't seen it in this series.
Yeah.
Last series with the Celtics, you've seen like Bridges take over. I know Hart he's been off his game here recently. I don't know. He benched him, but then when when it mattered the most, even though you look at the stat sheet, you don't see Hart did anything. But when you watch the game, Hart was he was the X factor leading into the fourth quarter, where Karl-Anthony Towns just took over. And if Karl-Anthony Towns can play like he did in the fourth quarter, the Pacers don't have really much of a chance. Because when Jalen Brunson is obviously the best player on the court when they play.
Yeah, but the thing with Towns is he's just like any other player. Like he's borderline elite, and he's just like anybody else. When they get going, they're hot. And I mean, that's what they were saying in the game. He's one of those rare big men that you let him shoot behind the 3. If he hits one, he's fixing to see more go in. That's just his play.
And he'll pull it from 30 foot when he's on.
Yeah, don't care. He's good.
But I mean, the biggest thing for the Knicks is they have to shut down Siakam. Because if you don't shut down Siakam, then you're allowing all these other guys that can shoot and playmakers on the outside of the Pacers to control the game. You got to take out Siakam. He was the X factor in game 1, and we've kind of held him at bay recently. So hopefully that can continue.
Yeah.
Let's look at MLB. We got the return of Ronald Acuna. Take a bow, man. First 2 games out, bombs. First pitch he's seen, back after ACL. Tanked it, son. Like 460 feet. Absolutely annihilated that ball. He's looking like he never left.
I love it. I love Ronald Acuna return. Just great for obviously the Braves, but just the MLB in general. Like having a superstar like Ronald Acuna out there every day, you know, to
Well, the thing,
compete with the league's best.
the thing that I love about Acuna, and I've said this on recent podcasts, is that when he comes and plays, the entire team rallies around that guy. Like it obviously didn't show against the Padres the other day whenever he freaking blasted that solo
That was
shot,
the only run of the game.
and then they lost 2-1. But I mean, you're whenever things finally start getting back in the swing, like they get used to Acuna being in that leadoff spot, and now that things have kind of changed in the batting lineup,
Well, Matt Olson's been on fire too.
right? You're gonna, and then when they finally get Strider back and healthy, like the Braves, they're just a team you can't count out, and Ronald Acuna is a very big piece of that.
Especially with the way Juan Soto's playing. Like the Braves, this is their opportunity to capitalize on the Mets right now.
Oh yeah,
Like with Acuna, you ask like, is he back? Is he like he never left? But 3 games, he got 6 strikeouts, 2 homers. I mean, so how?
yeah,
Is
but
that's not
that-
really a good ratio, is it? Right?
that's the type of player Acuna is, though. Acuna is one of those guys that he will get on base and he's going to have plenty of extra base hits, homers, doubles, whatever, and he's going to steal a lot of bags. And he don't walk. Acuna is not the type of walk. He's striking out, or he's putting the ball in play. That's just his type of play, and that's what makes watching him so exciting. Is like, yeah, like outside of 2 years ago, I mean, he's a guy that's going to give you 160, 170 hits, but have like the same amount of strikeouts or a little more. Kind of like Bryce Harper, except Bryce Harper also dabbles in walks. Acuna does not, unfortunately.
But a lot of that though comes from adrenaline. You've been away from the game for so long. You come out with the first pitch, swinging, home run. That goes to show you adrenaline's pumping. So I mean, you're gonna swing and strike out. If you're gonna come up swinging, you're gonna strike out.
Oh yeah, and everybody knows he's going to be aggressive. But I mean, before like on his rehab assignment coming out, like he was batting like over 400. So I'll take the strikeouts at the top of the lineup, and let that positivity and the wonderful nature of Acuna be out there for the rest of the Braves team. Because I mean, just like he freaking went out there and somebody hit a daggone ball in the corner and he freaking hosed him at second. Like, we haven't seen the progress obviously because he's been out of the game a year, but he obviously still been working. The arm is still just as strong as ever. My man come up from the corner and freaking hosed him. Like it's not some of these you see out of these other outfielders that throw the ball and it like 1 or 2 hops and like it's still like at a good strong pace. No, he put this ball on a line and threw that dude out. And given he was slow, but still hosed him. It's still great to watch from Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I like it for the Braves too.
Does that give him you think he could sneak into like the MVP talk for the end of the season? Like,
He possibly can because of the fact that Ronald Acuna is going to hit home runs and he's going to steal bases. That's going to put him into the MVP discussion. The question is, how many home runs is he going to hit when he gets hot, and how many bases is he going to steal when he gets on base?
is he like what, a month, 2 months, 2 months behind everybody right now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you got to think
month and a half, yeah.
he's 16 home runs away from the home run leader. Right now, he's 2 months behind. If he gets hot like he does at some point, and he hits 10 home runs, or 15 within a month, he's right back in the race.
Yeah.
Now, given as far as front runners go, like we're looking on his side with the NL, obviously Ohtani is no matter what, like Acuna can move into the conversation, but it's going to take an injury probably to Ohtani or freaking
Pete Crow.
Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow, Tatis. It's going to take probably an injury or some kind of setback to them for him to really, really catch up unless he just absolutely catches fire. But his ability to steal bases and stuff, like, depending on how that looks coming out, because obviously, he's torn his ACL, and he tore it last year still on a base. Or, yeah, year before.
The other time he tore it was in the field. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, I mean, we've got those guys, and Otani's obviously, like, towards the top. Pete Crow Armstrong out here showing,
Having an incredible season.
I mean, hey, I don't know who I traded him to in fantasy for cheap, but shout out to whoever got him off me last year. It's one of my only blunders I have on that. Thank you so much.
Well, what Pete Crow's doing is absolute. Like, I'm amazed, dude. Like, when Pete Crow come out, I was like, okay, a great defensive guy with great speed. Never would I have imagined he would be hitting home runs like he's hitting home runs right now.
Yeah, I've got the text from you to prove that.
Yeah, no, I never would have imagined he would hit home runs like he is, dude. That's crazy.
It's also been nice to see Tatis be healthy too. Like, obviously, that was the expectation going into the season, but he's looking like an MVP too, and he has the potential to hit 50 bombs, steal 20 bases. So
yeah, but the Padres have cooled off a lot too, though. They need Tatis and Machado to really pick it up out there.
I don't care what anybody else does. Otani's he's gonna take it. Like, all the media hype. Not saying he's not good. He don't deserve it. He's well deserved. But no matter what he does, he can go out there and just throw his cleat in the center field, and they're gonna give him hype for it. You know what I mean? No matter what he does, he's gonna get.
Well, if he picks back up into pitching, it's gonna be a runaway train. Unfortunately, like if his bat stays like it is and he starts pitching, yeah, I mean it's unfortunately gonna be an unfair fight for everybody in the NL.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at a world where Ohtani does come back pitching after the All-Star break. Because they're going to want to give him as much reps as they can to make sure he's ready. Because, like, they need him pitching with all the injuries. But, like, the way Ohtani's playing, does it really matter if he's pitching or not? Because he's playing so well for your team,
Yeah.
But obviously they need the help pitching. And they're going to, with all the injuries, they're either going to have to make a trade at the trade deadline or Ohtani's going to have to start pitching.
See, in my opinion, like, obviously, what do I know? I'm sitting here in an armchair talking about it instead of out there being part of it. But my opinion, I think they should just, all right, they're leading the division, right? So, if not leading it, they're staying at the top week in and week out, day in, day out. Until you need it or something happens, I don't think they should pitch him until later in the season. Don't even start him. Just have him come in late inning games, just get some, out of the bullpen. Because in the playoffs, you're going to start him. Like, just save his arm as much as you can until back end of the season. Not even just the half, the back end. That way, going to the playoffs, he's got them reps and he's ready to go, and he can just fly through the playoffs instead of just coming off the bench at that point.
Yeah, the little bit of stuff I've seen, like his stuff is obviously still really nasty. So, I mean, they could use him in the bullpen. Like they obviously like Tanner Scott, so I don't really know like value wise, like if it would be worth bringing him in as like a high leverage guy or like a middle reliever.
You also got to think Kopech. Kopech's coming back soon as well.
Yeah, so it's really hard. Like if I don't see the value in bringing him out of the bullpen unless like maybe it's like playoff series. Tanner Scott's pitched and like. He needs a day or two of rest. Like he got his pitches in. I really don't see the value in it, but at the same time, we are talking about a guy that is pretty close to going down as probably the greatest two-way player we've ever seen in the MLB.
And as far as the bullpen, I'm not saying they need him to come out of the bullpen. I'm just saying that way, don't put that pressure on him and risk an injury, him coming out starting, throwing 7-8 innings a game. Just let him come in, throw 1 or 2 innings a game, get his arm, put some action on his arm just for a few innings, and get him out just to warm him up for the playoffs. Not that they need him, but just to help him get back in the string of things.
Well, there's another way to do that too, though. They could bring him in after the All-Star break, and he could go four innings. They could keep his pitch count below a certain amount and work his way up. So that way when the postseason comes and they need 100 pitches out of Ohtani in a crucial situation, they can get that.
Yeah.
Because you want to save his arm, but you also want to get his arm worked into shape so that he can go deep into games in the playoffs when you need him the most.
And
So
let's be honest,
like I understand what you're saying, but I think there's other ways to do it where you don't have to pitch him out of the bullpen too, and you can work his arm out.
they didn't pay him all that money for him just to bat too.
No, eventually he's got to pitch. He has to pitch eventually.
Yeah, I mean, so will he pitch again? Will he not pitch again? I'm gonna say for
He's
the
definitely
sake,
pitching. I
for
don't
the
think-
sake of his contract, he's definitely gonna pitch.
He's definitely pitching. It's definitely going to be this year. The question is when.
$1 million question. Jumping back over to the MVP front runners. I mean, not that it's really a conversation, but we'll touch back on it. We covered the NL. Let's cover the AL. Obviously, there's two front runners. Y'all want to throw them names out there?
Yeah, good.
I mean,
Aaron Judge, he's the clear cut, and then the clear cut number two is probably Bobby Witt. I would say,
Aaron Judge is running away with it.
yeah.
If there's one guy that I could, like, off the top of my head, like, I know you said Bobby Witt, but there's another guy that if he gets hot, which he will eventually, he could steal it, and that's J Ram. But will he do enough to take it away from Aaron Judge? I don't think it's possible. But J Ram will definitely probably finish second in the MVP.
Hey, J Ram's on the heels of Bobby Witt. Him and, well, Alex Bregman was, in my opinion, but
Yeah,
now that he got hurt, like, how?
He's hurt. They say he's hurt for a while.
Really?
Yeah, they say he's going to be out for a while.
I'm about to say so. I mean, that obviously jumps him down. But yeah, J Ram and Bobby Witt's pretty close in my opinion. And let's be honest, Aaron Judge with injury history. I don't want to speak anything bad into the universe, but that 400 don't mean jack if he misses a month.
Yeah.
And easily Bobby Witt or J Ram can take it. Now, given J Ram, the thing that's really going to hurt him and Bobby Witt's that their team aren't winning a lot of games right now. So whenever they look at this, they're going to like, okay, the Yankees are leading their division, and they lost their ace. Aaron Judge is a clear reason for that. And then you got Bobby Witt and J Ram that's obviously doing the most they can for their team, but.
They lost their ace, but did they really? They picked up an ace.
Yeah. But I mean, let's be honest. Like Max Fried, yeah, he wasn't pitching this well in Atlanta. Hence why.
No, absolutely not.
Hence, like he had his game. Don't get me wrong, he had games and he looked really good. But when Garrett Cole went out,
this is the DeGrom level right here.
right? Like he's looking really really good. Like so. I get that part of it. What I'm saying is, like, they technically did lose their ace, and they're still at the top of their division. Whereas Bobby Witt Jr. and J Ram, their team, I don't think either one of their teams is even in third. I think they're both in fourth.
Well, even going back to, like, we talk about what Ohtani has done, we've never seen anyone do what Aaron Judge is doing right now. It's never been done. And if Aaron Judge continues to do this for the entire season, hit over 400 and hit 50, 60 bombs, I don't think anyone will ever do it again in MLB history.
yeah, that's why I don't think there's going to be a question on the AL side. There's no question. I mean, I guess you could do it later, but right now there's no question. Judge. On the NL side, it's Ohtani. The real question is which one out of the two. That's where your question is going to come in.
Well, they both win it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
MVP
man.
for one side, MVP for the other.
Yeah, you get an AL now, but like,
No, there's an MVP.
is anybody going to compete?
I don't do that split crap. No, you got an MVP of the league, not of your division.
So you think which one would take? So out of the
Yeah.
two, if they continue what they're doing, and Ohtani comes back to pitch, if Judge hits over 400, hits 60 bombs, Ohtani comes back to pitch, continues to have the season he's had, he hits 50 bombs, he pitches with a, I don't know, we'll say a 3 ERA because that's about what Ohtani's average anyways pitching. Who is the real MVP of the league?
Right.
It's Aaron Judge, bro. It's Aaron Judge. Nobody hits over 400 and hits 60 bombs and is not the MVP of the entire league. It's
Yeah,
just not-
without question. Especially since now Otani's fell below 300, just under it, but technically right now he's below 300. So.
And I don't see him pitching and his ERA staying below 3. It's never. I don't think he's ever had a season where his ERA stayed below 3.
Better knock on wood.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody thought that man was going to go out there and give you a 50-30 season either, but here we are.
Yeah.
Or 50-20.
50-50.
Well, oh, it was 50-50?
50-50. Yes.
Oh, so he got 50-50 and Acuna got 40-40? Or
Acuna got 40.
40-60? 40-60?
Is it
40 homers, 60 stolen?
I thought it was 40-80.
Maybe. No, maybe. I had to double check. But yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Listen, I remember it don't seem that long ago when I was like, Mike Trout is by far the best player in the MLB. And then lo and behold, his daggum teammates come out to be even better than he has, which obviously injuries hurt him, but golly, man.
Love to see Mike Trout come back, maybe make a push for something, but I doubt it.
Yeah, he's not taking that away from Judge, that's for sure.
No.
Not without injury.
No.
Um,
Mike Trout would probably have to hit over 500 every game he played for the rest of the year.
and that probably still wouldn't be enough,
Probably still would.
especially since he's batting like a 180 right now,
Yeah.
or less than that. I had to double check that too. And correction real quick, because the Guardians have moved into second in the division, but they're tied. They have the tiebreak over Minnesota. They're both at 29 wins, and the Royals are sitting in fourth. Just wanted to
Can
clarify.
someone look? Was Acuna's 40-60 or 40-80? I'm pretty sure it was 40-80.
All right, let's see. Dun-dun-dun. Oh yeah, can you pull it up for me?
Possibly. I mean,
40-70.
40-70. Okay, so he didn't
Split us right in the middle.
reach the 80. Okay,
Yeah, he didn't
but
reach.
no, but I mean, 50-50 is better. So sorry.
I agree. I'd much rather have 50-50 out of my player than 40-70.
Two great seasons.
Oh yeah,
Easy MVPs for those two. For those.
Oh yeah,
seasons.
absolutely. Okay, moving on to the NFL side of this, we have the tush push. Was the ruling on this the right one? Obviously, this got upheld for another year. A lot of teams unhappy about it. I think they come out and said, out of every team on the Eagles schedule, which they obviously play their division opponents twice each, there was only one team that voted for the tush push. Y'all want to guess who it was?
Is it the Bills? I mean, that's the only team I could think of.
I didn't figure out.
Competitively, this team was one of the most competitive teams in the NFC last year.
It was Washington, wasn't it? No, that's division. Or Detroit.
Competitive team. Detroit.
Detroit.
I thought
Detroit's the only team on their schedule that voted in favor of the tush push.
I thought Detroit was against it the whole time.
No, they're the only team that voted for it.
Yeah, I think there's only 10 that were against it. 10 or 11, something like that.
Yeah, and it's really funny. Like I said, every team that plays the daggum Eagles this year all voted against it except the Lions. So I love that. I hate that because the Packers obviously fall in that, but I do love that for the Lions, that like that competitive nature. They're just like, hey, whatever. Y'all are gonna do the tush push. We're gonna go for it on every fourth down anyway. So it's a even playing field.
I don't. As far as the ruling goes, I get the play. I get the play. If there was a way they could have said the play, but you can't just take a play out of somebody's playbook. It's just the scrum, the look of the aesthetics of that play just don't look like a football play. But the way they had worded the argument to take it out, whatever, it was never going to pass because they're saying, you can't push or pull. Like, how many times you seen a running back break a 5-yard run on 3rd and 6, need 1 yard, here comes a lineman just pushing him in the back.
Right.
So if you make a rule and say, no, you can't push or pull, those plays are gone. Is it a penalty? What do they do in that situation? Because no matter who it is on the field, your kicker, it could be your kicker. It don't matter who it is. If you see somebody with a ball carrier 1 yard from the first down, you're going to go push him or pull him. It's going to happen. So the way they worded that, it was never going to pass.
Yeah, that's my thought too. Like, if you want to take it out, then go back to the old way that it used to be, where you couldn't touch the guy with the ball. He wasn't allowed to push him and stuff.
And see,
once they changed that rule, the Eagles adapted and came up with a better game plan. Obviously, it's frustrating, because the Eagles and the Dolphins, like 2 years ago, the Eagles did the freaking tush push like 5 times on us in one drive and won the game. You know, it's frustrating to watch, but you got to stop it, man.
Yeah.
And every single team, if they could do it, they would run it.
Yeah.
Like without a question. Without a question. And that's the thing that I find, kind of baffling about it. It's like any team, if they could run it the way the Eagles run it and have the success that the Eagles have, they would run it, no question. And we wouldn't even be having this conversation about should it be banned or not. And it's not a great look, especially like whenever you're sitting here watching the Super Bowl and you know that it's 4th and 1 and the tush push is coming and like the team is 99, like it has a 93 or 94% success rate on running it. Like you just know how the drive's going to end more than likely, and that part of the game kind of sucks. But at the same time, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick threw it out there. Go ahead and take your 2 or 3 biggest guys, line them up on the center, and I guarantee you, after about the 4th or 5th time they run it, that center's either going to want to retire or whenever they call it, like whenever they call for the tush push, he's going to be like, because I mean, and he's right. Jason Kelsey said, that he didn't retire because of that. Like he knew he was going to get hit. But it is a very good, idea. Like, hey, listen, we may not can break through and shut down that, but if we break the will of the center, you're gonna start turning that rate that they have, like as high as it is, it's gonna fall more like to 80 or 70, like in the good range where most people that do QB sneaks fall in.
Imagine, all right, I can't remember the guy's name. You'll know from Florida, big guy.
I know, yeah.
I think he ended up going to Jacksonville or somewhere.
It's not Cam Jackson, it's the other one.
And imagine him on the defensive line, the center walk up like, yeah, we're supposed to get this yard. And all of a sudden you see that dude, like, oh, I don't know, we might get this yard.
That's what I was thinking. Is that going to start transitioning where we're going to see people drafting bigger defensive line?
Yeah.
Because I know other teams can't run it as successfully as the Eagles, but if it stays in the game, other teams are going to start putting it in their playbook. Yeah. Like the Bills could run it, but they don't have to because Josh Allen's just going to dive over and hold the ball with one hand.
Yeah, what did the Chiefs do last year? Mahomes got hurt on a similar play. I don't think it was the same play, like a sneak or something. They took him out of it, and they started running I think it was a tight end or somebody on their sneaks. Yeah. That way, it gets Mahomes out of that pileup.
Well, don't they have Blake Bell? He was a quarterback back in Oklahoma, converted to tight end.
So.
Yeah, and see that's the other aspect of it. It's like it's literally Jalen Hurts in there running it. So like there's any time he could get hurt, any time the center could like get blown off the ball, land on Jalen Hurts' leg, him be done, and then it's like crap. Like why did we run this in this situation? And hurt our future. Like there at any point that could be a possibility, but the entire Eagles team, they're sold on it. Like they believe fully like in the play, and I don't think because they're as successful as they are that it should ever go away.
That is a good possibility. Like if the Eagles lose Jalen Hurts, they lose their entire season.
Yeah. As far as the play itself, personally, of course, my opinion, it is what it is. I don't like the fact that a couple years ago, probably more than a couple years now at this point, they took the defensive play out where you can't line over center. You can't touch the center on extra points. So many extra points and stuff were getting blocked. Okay, well, we can't do that. We can't do that. Why? It's taking points off the scoreboard. What does the NFL want? They want more points. Well, if there's a defensive play that prevents points, they take it out. But now all of a sudden there's an offensive play where you're literally dogpiling behind the center. They allow that. That's my only argument. Okay, you can allow the offense to dogpile, but you can't allow the defense to do the same thing to block extra points and stuff. That's the only thing I don't agree with. Like offense can the same thing with face mask. Defense grabs a face mask, it's a penalty. Running back's running the ball, he grabs your face mask and pushes you, it's not a penalty. I don't agree with rules like that sway one side of the ball over the other.
Technically, as far as that rule goes, if the hand closes for the running back, it's supposed to be a flag.
But it doesn't get called all the time.
No,
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
defense
that's
don't even have to. He just
oh
touches a
no,
face mask.
that,
It's a
that's
penalty
what
every
that's
time.
what I get. Illegal touching. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So
And
Yeah,
but
and also on the offense and defensive line, hands to the face.
right.
There's a call we've seen more times this past year than we have in like years past.
but how many times you seen a highlighted running back take off and just stiff arm somebody?
Yeah, but
nothing but face
almost knock
mask.
their helmet off and there's no call.
Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you got running backs that's benching just as much as these defensive and offensive linemen.
Hell, Jalen Hurts probably bench as much as them, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing as far as the play I don't like personally is because, like I said, it's because okay, defense can't do that. Why is the offense? They're just allowing the offense to do it.
Right. Final segment of the podcast. We're looking at the over under win totals. What we covering the East this week?
The East,
Um,
AFC, and
AFC or NFC? First?
AFC, NFC East. What do we got for those totals?
NFC.
NFC, we got the Giants at 5.5.
I'm taking the under. I
Yeah.
don't think the Giants. I would say 3 to 4 wins max for the Giants there.
Obviously, I'm taking the under because I don't believe in Jackson Dart, even though he's going to be on.
He's
the
not playing.
No, real talk though. Like even with Russell Wilson out there, like looking at the Giants' schedule, I don't see them they might get to the 5 threshold, but they're not getting over 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll be an outlier here. I'll say the over. I mean, they may get 6, just 6, but I could probably find six teams in that division that can squeak by. I mean, maybe, but we got Las Vegas at the end. I mean,
yeah. Let's
one.
check it. Let's check it out. All right, let's see.
Let's see. New Orleans, that's 2.
Preseason.
Denver,
All right,
well, I don't think so, but maybe.
So Commanders, no.
Patriots.
Dallas, no. Chiefs, no. Chargers, no. So we got the Saints, their first game that you think they get a win. That's 1. Eagles, no. Broncos.
Maybe. Just call it 2. Call it 2.
That'd be the half there. That'd be the half.
Okay, 49ers.
No.
Bears.
Possibly.
So we're looking at possibly 3. Green Bay.
No.
Detroit.
No.
New England.
New England.
Possibly.
4.
Okay. The Commanders. No. The Vikings.
No.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Sure so far.
They could split Dallas. I mean,
they could, depending on what Dallas looks like. Like if the playoff, like if they're in the playoffs, and like depending on what that is, that may be a free game for them, and that could be their path. That last Dallas game could be their path to over 5.5 wins. But if it's close for Dallas,
it's a close line for sure. It's a close line.
Yeah, no.
I'll be the outlier. I'll say they'll get over. I'll take the over. Y'all can take the over.
Either way, it's not a successful season.
No. Yeah, if you're coming to the locker room, look, all right, guys, we got to get 6 wins.
Probably not a good year, boys.
Hey, shout out to Russell Wilson for being the one to take on that responsibility.
Yeah, where else was he going to go? Nobody.
Right. Yeah.
Dallas. All right, next up we got Dallas at 7.5.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the over there. I'm gonna take the over on Dallas.
Let's see.
I think we're looking at probably 10 wins out of Dallas, in my opinion.
Let's see. I mean, I can run through the schedule. Philadelphia opening up on Thursday Night Football.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That's a very good line for them because I'm looking at 7.
Yeah, New York, the Giants, Chicago, Green Bay, the Jets, Carolina, Washington, Denver, Arizona, Raiders, Philly, Chiefs.
I'm gonna take the over because I'm not really counting them. Like I wasn't really counting looking at them splitting with the Commanders or the Eagles, and I feel like it's very possible that they split at least with one of them. So I'm gonna take the over as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Plus, you never know what you're going to get out of Prescott, and then bringing in another receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb, Pickens. You don't ever know what you're going to get out of the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys may win more than 10 games.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have the best player on defense on their team. Defensive player in the league on their team.
Yep.
So everybody taking over on that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have the Commanders at 9.5.
I'm taking the under on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. It's all going to come down to Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I think I'm going to take the squeak. I think they finished with the same record as Dallas. They both get 10 wins.
Sophomore slump. I mean, you seen what happened to Stroud. As good as he looked the first year, the second year. I mean,
First off, let me just back up real quick and say that I do not think Dallas is getting to 10 wins.
I think
They might squeak out 8 or 9. They're not getting to 10. Anyway, go ahead, Nick.
yeah, at 9.5. I mean, I got to take the under. I got to take the under. I
It
don't,
does seem like a very high line. I think they're right there. With 9,
So we're looking at the Raiders, Atlanta. Sorry, the Chargers hit or miss. I'm gonna say that's their first loss. Bears, they'll take the first one from the Cowboys. They'll take that in Dallas. Chalk that up. The Chiefs, they're gonna lose to. I'm gonna say the Seahawks they beat. The Lions, no. The Dolphins potentially. So I'll say 6. Then we got the Broncos, 7.
Giants.
And then Vikings no, Giants 8, and then their last 3 they play the Eagles twice, and the Cowboys. The Cowboys, if they beat them the first time, they're not beating them the second time, and they could split.
That's tough for them, man. Eagles twice, Cowboys all in the last.
Correct, and at that point they're at 7 wins before they would have to win at least. They'd be at 8 wins. They'd have to win at least 2 of the last 3.
They should give them Atlanta. I mean,
yeah, right. I mean that's me giving them. Let's see. I gave them
Denver. I think was it
Denver
No.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That was me giving them Denver too, which is not a gimme
Or
game.
Seattle. I think you got
So,
Seattle as well.
I feel like the weapons aren't going to be there for Seattle, or the defense. So I feel like that's going to be an easier one of the wins for them. But yeah, I think that's a surefire under. Go ahead. I might as well go ahead and go put all my chips in on this one. I don't think they get to 10 wins.
I don't. All right. That it. Last up, we got the Eagles 11.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're definitely looking at an over here.
Yeah.
They're just too dominant, man. You're probably looking at like 14 wins out of the Eagles. 13, 14 wins.
They don't have an easy schedule though.
I
Hey.
know, but
Hey.
you're looking at a team that is extremely hard to beat anywhere, anytime.
How many losses can they have?
They can have to get what 12 wins.
Yeah.
They can have 5
5.
losses.
Let's see. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, based off previous history, that they're probably splitting one with the Cowboys. So that's 1 loss. The Chiefs is not a gimme game. The Rams will play them hard. The Bucks will play them hard. After their first game, after they play the Cowboys, they got the Chiefs, the Rams, the Bucks, and the Broncos before they get the Giants. That's a tough 4-week sled. And let's see.
The Minnesota.
Two of those home, 2 of those away. Like I could see the Bucks taking that.
I think they win all of them until they get to Minnesota.
Yeah,
Again,
they start out 6-0.
I can see them losing to Minnesota. I can see them losing to Green Bay. I can see them losing to Detroit.
They can't
I
lose.
think they'll lose to Minnesota. I think they'll lose to Detroit.
Does anybody know how many banner night teams have lost? Didn't the Chiefs lose to the Dolphins last year or something? I
Yep.
can't remember. I think it's something like that. Like
They lost their opening game for sure.
yeah, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, and so the Eagles are playing a division game for their banner night. I'm just saying.
Also, I get why you don't think that they would lose to all 3 NFC North opponents in a 4-week span, but the difference between them with this is that they're playing Green Bay at home, and Green Bay is exceptional at home. So, especially against tough opponents. So I'm gonna say that they knocked them there, and then I mean the rest of the schedule, the Chargers, They'll take the Raiders. They got the Commanders, Bills, and the Commanders. So I don't know. I don't know if they get to 12 wins. That's tough. That's a
I'm calling 13. I think they get 13-4.
hey
Lose
whoever.
to the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Bills.
Shout out to the line makers on on these lines. My lord, these are solid.
I think I'm gonna take the under. I mean, they may be 11. I think I'm gonna take the under. 12 wins with that division. Yeah, you take the Giants out. I mean, you got the Cowboys. Yeah, they're hit or miss, but Commanders. That's just their division. That's 4 games right there between those two. Yeah, I got to take the under. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, no, if they hit the over, but yeah, I'll take the under.
This is tough, but there are some of these games that I'm not giving them enough credit for. So just based off of them running the table again, I am going to take the over on this one. Even though I do think the under is a very good value bet, I think I just think their dominance the last 5-6 years it can't go unnoticed, and I'm going to take them on the over.
We're also banking on everyone staying healthy too.
Correct. I would say they
Once
lose.
teams start dealing with injuries, it becomes a big problem. Trying to win. That line of games.
Plus the thing about them is their run game is awesome and their passing game has the potential.
Yeah, I mean,
So
since AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and
Right.
pair that with Saquon.
if all three of them and Hurts is
Saquon
healthy,
can do it all. Saquon is literally the best back in the NFL for a reason.
Yeah.
all right, what's next?
We're ready to go to the AFC East. Start with the Jets at 5.5.
I'm taking the under. I don't know. I don't know if the Jets even win 2 or 3 games. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean,
Who they got?
I do like Justin Fields.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, man. That offense is pretty.
What about that new coach? You don't think that new coach they're going to get some extra motivation of getting a new coach?
What did we?
Especially with that Dan Campbell tree?
You said the line's 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the under. Looking at their schedule, give me the under.
I'm taking the under because like Justin Fields, and then that defense wasn't near as good last year as everyone thought they would be because they was the years before that. But I don't know.
Hold on. Yeah, let's look at this. I can see 6 wins.
Name them.
All right, I'll just start at the top. Miami. They play them twice. They can split Miami.
They're not split. Man.
They're not.
All right,
I
so
don't
that's
think
possible. All right, Carolina.
We'll say 1. That was 2. Okay.
New England.
They'll probably split New England.
Yeah, they can split New England. Jacksonville
I don't know.
and New Orleans.
That's
I'll
5.
probably be New Orleans.
New Orleans, Jacksonville, Miami, New England, Carolina. Yeah, you're right.
Right. Right. Even
That's just
with,
the splits. Yeah.
I mean
That's probably a big under right here, ain't it?
even with splits, man, like golly, the
But
Bills,
also
Bills,
back into-
Broncos,
back into the
Bengals.
season- Hear me out. Back into the season, week 18, Buffalo's may have a bye week already because they dominated their division.
But here's the thing: this year starts the new reseeding. So if Buffalo was up there with the Chiefs in wins, and they need that extra win to secure that number 1 spot,
That got threw out, right? Yeah.
did it?
Detroit withdrew that proposal. I'm pretty sure. I mean, pretty sure. Let's see. I know the college went through, but the NFL didn't.
College went too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I've seen Detroit withdrew that.
I'm about to say that might be why I'm thinking the NCAA side of it.
Yeah. So there's not, from what I can see.
So I mean, they might possibly hit that 6, and maybe that's what the line makers was looking at. They were like, "Hey, if Buffalo's got a pretty good lead here, this may be a win for them."
Yeah, I took the Giants to hit 6. I'll take the Jets to hit 6 as well.
I'm
I'll be the
gonna
gift.
definitely take the under. I'm gonna say
I'm taking the under.
I'm gonna say both Giants and Jets win 3 games.
combined,
Both win 3 games.
combined or together.
No, separate, and they're gonna be fighting for that number 1 overall pick.
They just go. Both play at what MetLife. They can just go in there. Not MetLife. Yeah, whatever. They can be going
It is MetLife.
combine their teams and just
Yeah.
build the best roster
Like
possible.
Newstott and Wheeler.
Hey, that's racist. Stop.
Oh man! All right, next up we got the Patriots at 7.5.
I'm gonna take the under.
I just, man,
I don't like.
I
I
don't
like
think
Drake May, but I don't like the Patriots roster, man. I don't like the Patriots roster. I think the Patriots get 6 wins, maybe 7. They may squeak out 7.
Let's see. All right, so we got to get 7. I got to get 8. All right, let's see if I can find 8. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm taking the under.
5. Yeah.
What?
I know. I like Drake May. He can. That's a good line too. It's either 7 or 8. You know what I mean? It's like I think they can get. I think they can get 8 wins. I can't tell you where, but Mike Vrabel, he's gonna motivate them guys. They're gonna come out and play their best.
One of those 8 would have to be off of Atlanta.
I mean, I ain't arguing that. I hate to say it, but I'm not saying the Falcons are gonna go 18-0 like somebody says the Packers ain't gonna do. But I mean, I'm a realist here. I mean, Atlanta's not. There's games I don't think they're gonna win. That could be one.
Hey, go Pack, go baby.
But if I'm just being honest, I could see 8, possibly somewhere. I mean, they may have to dig for it, but I think they can get. I think they can take the over just because Mike Vrabel. That's 2 or 3 wins right there just for him.
All right, what's this Bills line look like?
Well, we got the Dolphins first. We're looking at 8.5 on the Dolphins.
Give me the over.
See, here we go. Oh man! All right, we take.
Dolphins are gonna win. Dolphins are gonna win. They're gonna win 12.
Are we going to add an asterisk to that if Tua stays healthy over?
I think if Quinn Ewers comes in, I don't think
Who?
it really a whole lot. If Quinn Ewers can,
Ewers.
Ewers.
So we're looking at 8.5. So we gotta reach 9 here.
All right,
I see 1,
let's see.
2, 3, 4.
I think the Dolphins play the Bills for that division.
Really?
Yeah. When Tua's on the field, man, the Dolphins are hard to beat.
Well,
You
since
said it's 8.5.
Yeah. I got the Patriots. See, I can have them both winning 8, both be 8 and 9, or I could also have them both being 9 and 8. That's tough. That's right there on my line too. I got the Patriots and the Jets going over. I gotta say the Dolphins got to go under.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the over. I think with the Bucks, I think the Bucks run away with that division, and I don't think that game with the Dolphins at the end matters much to them. So I can see, I can see them stealing that and getting to 9.
You think the Bucks run away with that division? I think we'll get to that in another time. But.
Yeah. All right. Last one we got here is the Bills at 11.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over here as well. I just feel like I think the Dolphins and the Bills, they take out the Jets and the Patriots. They both sweep those two, and I think they split each other. And I think we're looking at a division race. I do think the Bills take 1 game over the Dolphins, like overall record.
Oh, I like the Bills. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to take the over just because I like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Dolphins 12 wins, and I'm taking the Bills at 13.
Yeah, 11.5. I can. Yeah, I mean it's 12 wins. Yeah, I can probably find 12 wins there. So yeah, I'm gonna take the over on that one too.
You know what? I'm gonna say the new MVP goes under. He might hit 11, but he's not gonna get over 11. So I'm gonna take the under with the Bills. I think the Josh Allen hype train is gonna get really bogged down this year. Even though a lot of people think that it's his time to win the Super Bowl, I think it's actually Lamar Jackson's time, and the Bills are going to be very underwhelming this year. Now, given, like I said, they may still get to double-digit wins, but they're not getting to 12. Give me the under.
So based off of our lines, we think that the Eagles will take the NFC East, and the Bills take the AFC East.
For sure.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Even though I'd love to say my Dolphins win the AFC East, you got to accept reality and see we're not as good a team as the Bills are. Especially like when you look at the quarterback position, the Bills are way ahead of the Dolphins. Like Josh Allen, Tua, Josh Allen's way ahead.
I'd be more on board with the Dolphins if they could figure out the locker room situation. I mean, you got Jalen Ramsey wanting to leave, Tyreek Hill up and down. Does he want to stay? Does he want to go? If they could, I like Mike McDaniel. I like him as a coach. If he could figure out the locker room aspect of that his coaching, I would really have high hopes for the Dolphins. But with the locker room in shambles year in and year out, it seems like it's just hard for me to pick
But
especially over in a division with the Bills.
But you also have to think, why is the locker room in shambles? It's because their quarterback's been injured so much, and we're not winning the way that those guys want to win.
Because you look like I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. They ran Vic Fangio out of the building, and he goes to Philadelphia and wins a Super Bowl.
We never. Wait, what?
Vic Fangio, was he not their coordinator? Did they?
No, we never brought in Vic Fangio.
Who was the one they ran out? Because Jalen Ramsey said he couldn't play for the guy or something like that.
Oh, we have Vic Fangio for 1 year. There was a coach in between Vic Fangio and somebody else. Yeah, we did brought in.
I'm pretty sure.
But it was because we didn't want to run. We didn't want to run his defensive scheme.
Yeah.
Great. Great.
But that was
years
ago.
Right.
I thought that was before Jalen Ramsey got there.
Nah. I'll pull it up real quick. We don't have to guess or not, but 2023 Dolphins defense coordinator.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Everybody kept saying Vic Fangio over because they kept saying, "Oh, let's get him out." They got him out, and he goes.
Yeah, because we have a corner that's sitting out that hasn't played at all because Fangio didn't think he was good enough, and Cam Smith.
Yeah.
And the big thing was the corners were saying because we're playing a lot of these guys that I don't think are that good. Like Kohu, dude fights, but I don't think he shouldn't be starting over Cam Smith.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, until Mike McDaniel can get control of that, and as a head coach, it's his fault, but he's got a lot of veteran players that probably running the ship in there, and so it's probably hard for him to control.
Yeah.
With the veterans, it's hard to build the culture because they're already set in their culture. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm just assuming here.
Well, you bring in two superstars that are very outspoken in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
It's gonna be problems.
And there's rumors that, obviously rumors are rumors, but there's a chance the Falcons can try to move for Ramsey. As a fan, yeah, I want Jalen Ramsey. One of the best.
But the Falcons haven't been winning.
But yeah, but it's do you want that type of personality in our young locker room?
Yeah, because the only way to keep a superstar quiet is to win.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to say a whole lot when you're winning.
Right.
When you're losing, obviously, they're going to be upset.
So
and Tyreek Hill to go from 2023 having the year he had and to going into 2024 having a very underwhelming season,
Yeah, it was inevitable that he was going to speak out. So.
Right.
Yeah. And he's been acting out off the field pretty bad. I don't know if y'all have seen the videos and stuff.
I haven't watched them.
Tyreek Hill hanging his newborn baby off of a 23rd floor of a hotel room. Pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Which one? He's got 20 of them.
The one that he has with his wife now.
Shout out Tyreek Hill.
Is he going to join?
Do better.
Is he going to join Antonio Brown? Do you think it's that bad?
He will eventually. Yeah.
I think so.
Once his career is over, he would definitely. He's headed down the route.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that Antonio waited for his career to be over. Like, that's what ended his career. You know what I mean?
Well, he waited till his run with the Steelers was over.
Oh yeah,
His
I see
career
what
was
you're saying.
essentially over with at that point.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Ever since the hit, his career was over. Against Cincy.
Like the way he acted out he was with the Bucks, right? When he took off the jersey and went off the field, like that was
'Cause
crazy.
I think he got kicked out of the Raiders. Threatened the coordinator or punched the coordinator or something. I can't remember what it was.
That's one of the craziest things.
Got released by the Patriots.
Yeah.
Now he's out. Now he's getting cooked by Shiloh Sanders.
It was nice that Tom Brady was like, man, I've thrown this dude every single ball I could throw him for a week straight, and he hadn't dropped one yet. And then 2 days later, he gets cut, and it's like, oh well, never mind. Forget that guy. Hence why Antonio Brown was so anti Tom Brady. But anyway, that's it for the podcast this week. We're gonna move on into MLB.
Happy
NFL.
holidays, everybody. We forgot to mention that.
Forget the holidays. No, just kidding. Glad we was able to get up for Memorial Day. Remember those that served. Thank y'all for y'all's sacrifice. And as far as this goes, like I said, we're going to move into best bets of the week. I'm Red Samples.
Austin Harris.
Nick Ballinger.
Roll Tide.
Best bets of the week.
All right, best bets, May 27th. Opie, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Vlad Jr. for over 1.5 total bases. He's hitting a 435 versus Eovaldi and 23 at bats. And also, give me Royce Lewis for over 1.5 total bases, going up against Taj Bradley, and he's hitting 375 against them. All right, Nick, what you got?
All right, I'm going to take Ozzy Albies to get an extra base hit versus Suarez. It's just a good matchup for him. I'm feeling a little wild here, so I'm going to take an extra base hit for him. Then also I'm going to take Dansby Swanson to get over 1.5 bases versus Freeland. He's sitting on a 4.58 ERA against him, so that's what I'm going to take with that. All right, Jeremy, who you got?
All right, give me Jarren Duran over 1.5 total bases. And then secondly, give me Kyle Tucker over 1.5 total bases. I like both those guys in their spots tomorrow, and that's what I'm rolling with. All right, Wednesday, best bets, May 28th. Opie, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Manny Machado for over 1.5 total bases. He's hitting 667 against Alcantara. And also give me Julio Rodriguez for over 1.5 bases. He's hitting 800 against Trevor Williams. Nick, what you got?
All right, I'm going to take Brandon Marsh, all right, to get a hit. I know being in a slump is an understatement, but maybe right here he can start turning around, so I'm going to take him to at least get a hit. And also I'm going to take Pete Crow Armstrong to get over 1.5 bases. He's one of the league leaders right now for MVP discussions, one of them, so I think he just continues to get that done, so maybe he can overcompensate for what Brandon Marsh is lacking on the other side over there. All right, Red, hit me with it.
All right, we typically go for the easier side of these, so I'm gonna go a little different this go around. Give me Trevor Story under 1.5 total bases. I'm about to say he hasn't been very well at the dish this year, and then also on that note, give me Wade Jr. to go under 1.5 total bases. He has no extra base hits or more than a hit in his last 7 games, and it was even longer than that the game before that. So give me both of them going under 1.5 total bases. That wraps us up for MLB Best Bets, or our Best Bet segment of the week. I'm Red Samples.
Austin Harris.
Nick Ballinger.
We are Side Picks. See y'all next week.